What's up, dog? You're in our fucking city. What's up? What's up? Every day I'm hustling. Every day. What's up, nigga? Every day. You gonna press us out in our fucking city, nigga? What's up?
This wasn't just a concert, it was a calculated ambush right on enemy territory on June 12, 2025. Kendrick Lamar walked onto the stage at Toronto's Rogers Centre, a venue so iconic it practically breathes Drake's name, except for one thing: Drake has never headlined it.
Fight video just dropped online, and fans think it shows Drake's affiliates getting into it with Kendrick Lamar.
The biggest artist from Toronto, the man who put the city on the global map, and yet, the Rogers Centre, the crown jewel of Toronto venues, remained untouched by him. Until Kendrick stepped in, and he didn't tiptoe in quietly, he stormed the place with Not Like Us, a diss track that doesn't just throw shots. It unloads an entire magazine aimed directly at Drake's legacy. Kendrick didn't just perform. He claimed a stage that Drake never dared to and turned it into a symbol, a statement. A move so bold that fans couldn't ignore it, even if they wanted to. This was chess, not checkers. And the board was set right in the heart of the 6ix. No one saw it coming. Not even Kendrick. The second Not Like Us dropped, the crowd, Drake's crowd, exploded. 2 minutes of thunderous applause. Toronto fans weren't just vibing, they were celebrating. And what were they cheering for? A track designed to tear down the very artist who represents their city. People wearing OVO hoodies, Drake tour merch, and even 6 God chains were out there singing every line of a diss track, meant to dismantle the image of their hometown hero. They weren't conflicted. They weren't quiet. They were loud, united, and chanting, "They Not Like Us." It was surreal. Clips from the show flooded social media, fans dancing, shouting the lyrics, demanding an encore like it was their anthem. But this wasn't Kendrick's home turf. This was enemy territory, and the crowd had just switched sides.
Walk with me. When he dropped his album back in November, he was slated on pace to do 220, 230. 3-4 days into the 7-day time span, Drake drops the lawsuit. By the time we get to day 7, the 220, 230 number goes to 319, 320. Because that forced light.
Inside that stadium, it didn't feel like a concert anymore. It felt like a victory rally. A symbolic takeover where Kendrick wasn't just performing, he was dismantling Drake's throne and using his own fans to do it. But then just as the hype hit its peak, something darker started bubbling outside the venue. And the night took a whole new turn. As Kendrick left the stage to a hero's send-off, a storm was already brewing outside. Minutes later, a video hit the internet, grainy, chaotic, but clear enough to cause instant panic. The clip showed what looked like Drake's affiliates getting into a physical altercation with what fans assumed were members of Kendrick Lamar's crew, pushing, shouting, swings thrown. It was messy, it was violent, and it spread like wildfire. The timing, way too precise to feel like coincidence. The footage dropped right after Kendrick's Toronto takeover, and people instantly connected the dots. Was this beef finally turning physical? Rumors exploded across Twitter, Reddit, and hip-hop blogs. Some claimed it was backstage. Others said it happened near the venue's VIP lot. No one really knew who was involved, but everyone had an opinion. Too many fans. This wasn't just tension anymore, it was retaliation. But here's the twist: while everyone was focused on Toronto, they were looking in the wrong direction, because the truth about that fight, it didn't start there. And it wasn't even about Kendrick.
Is here to watch Kendrick Lamar.
No.
Absolutely no.
Absolutely no. We just
why?
came to see like Drake's fan over here. Yeah.
OVO forever.
This wasn't just beef, it was a slow-burning war brewing for over a decade. It all started back in 2013, when Kendrick Lamar dropped his now infamous verse on Big Sean's track Control. He name-dropped a long list of rap heavyweights, but one name hit the hardest: Drake. Kendrick wasn't taking shots for clout. He was throwing down a challenge: step up or get left behind. He called it friendly competition. But everyone in hip-hop knew it was a warning shot. Drake, who had been on a steady rise to global dominance, didn't respond directly. But tension quietly built behind the scenes. Features got dodged, subtle lyrics were exchanged, and fans started choosing sides. Years passed, and the animosity stayed just under the surface. Until 2024, when Kendrick finally snapped the leash. That year, he dropped a verse on Like That by Future and Metro Boomin, and he torched the idea of a big three in hip-hop: no more Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. Kendrick made it clear, there's only room for one, and it's me. The verse ignited a chain reaction. Diss tracks flew like missiles. Social media turned into a war zone. Drake dropped push-ups. Kendrick answered with Not Like Us, and it wasn't just a diss. It was a character assassination. The gloves were off. Kendrick went beyond bars. He attacked Drake's image, his authenticity, his reputation, all in one track, and just like that, the Cold War became a full-blown battlefield. Kendrick didn't just perform a song, he staged a takedown. Everything about his Toronto performance was strategic. The venue, the timing, even the energy. He didn't show up to entertain, he came to expose, and every move was part of a master plan. The crowd expected a show. What they got was a funeral for Drake's image, delivered bar by bar. To the beat of Not Like Us. Fans weren't just clapping. They were chanting, screaming, dancing like they'd just been set free.
It's at play.
Well, Kendrick won 5 Grammys for Not Like Us, more than any rapper has ever won in a single night. Now, he doesn't have the most Grammys of any rapper. I think like Jay-Z and Kanye still has more Grammys than him, but he sweeped.
And I'm gonna be real, not to say Kendrick didn't earn every last one of those, but I really believe, and you know, walk with me, Vlad, I really believe that the Drake factor and the things he's doing, it's not hurting Kendrick, it's hurting itself, it's elevating.
And the wildest part, they were wearing OVO merch. It felt surreal, Drake's own supporters standing in unison, helping Kendrick tear down their city's king. The Rogers Center had never seen a moment like it, not just because Kendrick performed there, but because Drake never did. That wasn't a coincidence, that was a calculated humiliation. Kendrick took the one stage Drake had never claimed and weaponized it. He didn't diss Drake in passing, he made it a mass participation event. Thousands of voices inside a stadium built to celebrate Toronto's greatness, now echoing lyrics that dragged Drake's name through the dirt. It wasn't just music. It was a power play, a cultural statement that said, this city isn't yours anymore, it's mine now. While Kendrick was dominating the East Coast, chaos was brewing out west, and the name at the center of it? Rick Ross. It all went down on June 30, 2024, at the Ignite Music Festival in Vancouver. Just weeks before Kendrick's Toronto performance, Ross, never one to back down from industry drama, stepped on stage and made his allegiance crystal clear. In the middle of his set, he did the unthinkable, he played Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us on Canadian soil, at a festival packed with Drake fans. The message was loud. Ross wasn't neutral. He was siding with Kendrick, and he wasn't whispering it, he was broadcasting it. And just like that, all hell broke loose. As the beat dropped, someone in the crowd allegedly yelled, "Turn that off, you wanna bang out." Seconds later, punches were thrown, a full-blown brawl broke out near the stage. Ross' team clashing with enraged attendees. Cameras were rolling, footage spread like wildfire. This wasn't just fan outrage. It was something more organized, more personal, according to reports. The attackers were tied to Drake's camp, fans or affiliates, no one knows for sure. But one thing was clear, this wasn't random. Ross had made his stance public, and the response was immediate. He had crossed the line and walked straight into enemy territory with Kendrick's flag waving high. The Vancouver incident flipped the narrative. This feud wasn't confined to lyrics anymore. It was spilling out into the real world. And how Rick Ross handled the fallout, that's where things took a turn from violent to downright brilliant. Rick Ross just got jumped in Canada, but instead of firing back with fury, he did something unexpected. He laughed it off. No rants, no threats, no retaliation. Ross spoke to TMZ and kept it cool, saying no one from his crew was seriously hurt, and even praised Vancouver, calling it a beautiful city. It was a masterclass in psychological warfare. While everyone expected Ross to clap back, he did the opposite, and in doing so, he took control of the narrative. Then came the real twist. Shortly after footage of the brawl surfaced, Drake quietly co-signed the chaos. He liked an Instagram post that warned, "If you're not with Drake, don't come to Canada." Fans went wild. Was this just petty trolling or a deliberate message? And then, just to make it louder, Drake posted a cryptic Instagram story, "Happy Canada Day," followed by laughing emojis. The post went viral, not because of the words, but because of the timing. He posted it right after the Rick Ross fight. No context needed. Too many fans. It felt like Drake was celebrating what happened, not denying it, not distancing himself, embracing it. Suddenly, the line between artist and army blurred. This wasn't just about two rappers anymore. It was about tribes, loyalty, and territory. And Drake's silence was starting to speak louder than any diss track. Meanwhile, Rick Ross kept flipping the script. In interviews, he downplayed the whole thing, even mocking the attackers, saying it wasn't a punch, just someone tossing a drink. That wasn't a hit, that was a splash. He joked, fans called it elite-level trolling. Ross wasn't playing defense, he was using the moment to boost his image, calm, unfazed, and in control, even after catching heat on enemy ground. He didn't just survive the Vancouver incident. He flipped it into a win, one that made him look like a boss, while Drake looked like he was sending soldiers. Instead of stepping up himself, but as fans chose sides and tensions escalated, one question started hanging over the entire culture. How far is this really going to go, and is music even the focus anymore? This started as a rap battle, but by now, it's clear this isn't just about bars anymore. The fight in Vancouver, the chants in Toronto, the online warfare, the media manipulation, the silent approvals, and the shifting alliances, this is hip-hop history unfolding. In real time, Kendrick Lamar didn't just diss Drake, he strategically dismantled his influence. Not just with lyrics, but with timing, venue, crowd control, and symbolism. Meanwhile, Drake, instead of responding directly, has played his own chess game, silent approvals, cryptic posts, and letting his fan base go to war for him and the industry. Split, Birdman, and 50 Cent backed Drake, Kanye, Metro Boomin, and Rick Ross stood with Kendrick. J. Cole jumped in early, then bowed out. Even legends like Ice Cube and Stevie Wonder started speaking up, not about the bars, but about the damage this might leave behind, because this isn't just a feud, it's a reckoning. It's about loyalty, legacy, and who really controls the culture in a time where a single post can ignite a movement, where diss tracks lead to real-world consequences, where fan armies don't just debate, they act. Even DJ Academics, one of Drake's most loyal media voices, got dragged into the war. Every time he tried to defend Drake, fans bombarded him with a single word: compromised. A callback to Kendrick's jab, and one that undercut Academics' influence entirely. Kendrick wasn't just battling a rapper, he was tearing down an entire media machine, one piece at a time, and the effect, undeniable. Artists are picking sides, executives are watching nervously, and fans, they're treating this like more than music. Because to them, this is identity. This is culture, this is personal. What we're watching isn't just a clash of egos. It's a cultural shift, a fight for narrative control, and a battle over who truly holds the crown in the modern era of hip-hop. And if WAC 100 is right, this isn't over, it's just the beginning. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because the next chapter in this drama is coming fast. Stay locked in.